Hey guys, here's another review. This time I'll be reviewing the Henshin Belt Deluxe GotcharDriver Daybreak version from Kamen Gotchard. This premium bond exclusive is the version of the GotcharDriver used by Kamen Gotchard Daybreak to transform. This set includes several things: the GotcharDriver Daybreak version itself, a set of belt straps, belt stopper, and 6 Ride Chemy trading cards. So, let's get started. First I will take a look at included Chemy cards, and do so in pairs, starting with these two. These are Hopper 1 Daybreak version and Steamliner Daybreak version. So, for these have the same type and number as the original versions, but they are done up in a different style. So, for the Gotchard Daybreak version of the Chemy cards, usually the Chemys are now an orange color with flame designs on them. You can see blue eyes there, and got a flame effect to them. And what's also pretty cool is that if you look at the edges, they're designed to look as if the cards are slightly singed by flame. Also changes up the lettering, or rather changes up the border color from yellow or gold to red. So here you can see Steamliner Daybreak version. And once again you can see the flame patterns there, the flame effects. And these are ultra rare cards, so the border is done up in a red chrome, or rather a red foil. Though on the backs they're identical to the normal STEAMHOPPER cards. Next we'll look at these two, which are Shining Hopper 1 and Shining Steamliner. These are powered up versions of Hopper 1 and Steamliner, specifically the Daybreak versions, and are exclusive to Gotchard Daybreak. So these are EX rare cards. You can see the details there, and I got some purple and blue added to them, as well as this orangey arrow visor. You can see that on both of them. See the names there. Now have a cool gradient for the level. And on the back, what's great about these is that they do have a colored backing. You can see the design there, with a gradient of purple to orange, which matches up with the colors you see on the back of the cards. The final ones we'll look at are these ones, which are Hopper 1 Ultima version and Steamliner Ultima version. So the card art is the same design that we've seen for Hopper 1 and Steamliner. And these are ultra rare cards, so they do have gold foil borders. However, if you compare them to the normal ultra rare versions, you can see that they have a glittery hollow foil effect not seen on any other versions of the cards. So let's compare the different versions of Steamliner as well. And we'll get to what these are used for later in the video. Though as you can see, similar to the Rainbow Rare cards for Gotchard, these also have colored backing. Next we'll look at the GotcharDriver Daybreak version itself, which I'll be shortening to GotcharDriver Daybreak to keep things simple. So, physically, this is the same mold and design as the original GotcharDriver, but with some cosmetic differences. The first one being that all of the clear orange parts have been replaced with clear red, which gives it a pretty different dynamic. Take a look at the design details on the screen. They've been changed from metallic gold paint to gold chrome, and that applies to both the designs on the outside and on the inside. Then the third detail is that for all the design lines on the face of the belt, they've been filled in with metallic silver to make them stand out a little bit more. Design on the back is the same as the power switch here. Takes 3 AAA batteries. Got the top and bottom speaker there. And we have the belt straps, which are identical to the ones that come with the normal GotcharDriver. And of course they clip on the same as any modern day belt straps. Coming on one side and clipping on the other. Just like that. Next we'll bring in the cards for the transmission. So first up we'll switch it on. And you'll hear this one has a bit of a different transmission or different activation sound to the original GotcharDriver. Let's start off with these cards. So, despite the different look for the cards, the transmission into Kamen Gotchard Daybreak STEAMHOPPER is the same as normal Gotchard. Then do the STEAMHOPPER Fever. I'll use these two. And there we have the transformation into Kamen Gotchard Shining Daybreak, a special power-up form that Gotchard Daybreak gets in the movie Kamen Gotchard Our Future Daybreak. So you can see the completed design here, with of course the eyes filled in there. It definitely is very cool to see the colored card backings. In addition to that, you'll also notice that not only was there a different standby sound, but interestingly, instead of using orange lights, Shining Copper One actually used red lights instead. So then we'll get to the special attack. Which is Rising Fever. And then we'll use our last pair. And then we get the transmission for Kamen Gotchard ULTIMA STEAMHOPPER, which, spoilers for the series, is a form that Gotchard obtains in the final episode using the GotcharDriver Daybreak version. And it basically follows the trend that we've had in the Rainbow Era series, where the main rider gets a last episode form that is the base form but stronger. So then the special attack. Which is STEAMHOPPER Ultima Fever. After that, I'll demonstrate how the GotcharDriver Daybreak is compatible with the driver units, though we'll only be using a couple because they're all I have access to at the moment. First among them is the Gotchard Igniter. And then we have the transformation into Kamen Rider Fire Gotchard Daybreak, STEAMHOPPER. Now, as you could hear, these sounds are identical to what would happen if you were to use the Gotchard Igniter on the normal GotcharDriver, but attaching it to this belt does give it a bit of a different dynamic. Instead of having the orange and orange, you have the orange with the red, which definitely adds to the kind of fire motif. And this is how Gotchard Daybreak first appeared in the series, and what led to Gotchard becoming Fire Gotchard. So we can also do the special attack. The second unit I'll be showing is Nijigon. And this does give silly transformation into Rainbow Gotchard, but if you listen carefully, you can kind of hear a couple of the secrets about this belt, which is how it gets a couple of its exclusive transformations, which is that for the cards that give it those exclusive transformations, it technically uses barcodes that were used by other cards within the Ride Chemy train card set. So, the cards for Nijigon use the same barcodes that were then used for Shining Hopper 1 and Shining Steamliner. On the flip side of things, I'll be showing how the cards from this set work in the normal GotcharDriver, though I'll be skipping the Hopper 1 Daybreak and Steamliner Daybreak combination because they use the same barcodes as the normal Hopper 1 and Steamliner cards. So first we have Shining Hopper 1 and Shining Steamliner. So I get the Special Rider transmission, and we already know that these use the same barcodes as the two Nijigon cards. Then we have the ULTIMA STEAMHOPPER cards. Now you'll hear they read as a couple cards called Hopper 101 and Gigant Liner. And to better explain those, let's get to the next segment. Finally, I'll show some combinations in the normal GotcharDriver that I wasn't able to show in previous videos, either just because of not really having a place where I felt they could fit in, or for not having the cards yet. The first cards we'll look at are Hopper 101 and Gigant Liner. These are special powered-up versions of Crosshopper and Tenliner that Gotchard obtains in his summer movie, Kamen Gotchard The Future Daybreak, which I got the title wrong earlier, but that's the actual title. So first we have Hopper 101, named as such because it is a version of Hopper 1 that has the power of all 101 Chemies. You see the sign there, it's an EX rare. So you've got the rainbow pattern here. Then we have Gigant Liner, which you can definitely see is a powered version of Tenliner, just going by the sign. So it's got the rainbow pattern there. And these are super rare cards that you can obtain. Well, they're super rare or even EX rare cards. They come in multiple rarities, but they're cards you could obtain in packs of Ride Chemy trading card EX02, which was the final set for Gotchard. Now if we look on the back, you can see a colored in pattern that is unique to these cards. Now as you hear in the last part, when these cards or cards with the same barcode are used in the GotcharDriver normally, they just make a generic sound. So in order to get the proper form, you need to use the GotcharDriver with Nijigon attached. And there we have the transformation for Kamen Miracle Gotchard, a power-up form that Gotchard obtains at the same time that Gotchard Daybreak becomes Shining Daybreak. So then you have the special attacks. For the next couple of forms, we'll take off Nijigon and just use the belt on its own. So next cards I'll show off are Kamen Legendary Legend and Gigant Liner Final Stage versions. These are cards that were originally obtained by buying a special type of ticket for the final stage show of Kamen Gotchard that toured Japan after the series ended. Now, just going to say that these are cards that are not easy to obtain. I'm not going to tell you how much money I spent to get these, but they were quite expensive, so I'm basically just showing these for the sake of showing them and the form they make. So first we have the Legendary Legend card, which as you can see has a very clear image of the Legendary Legend Chemy. You can see that it is definitely very much powered up from the normal Legend Chemy. And in the background you can also see some scenes from the TV show. It's got the name and the symbol there. It's an EX Rare card. Though of course it's a promo card, so it has the PR symbol. This is what the back looks like. You can see it's got an original backing. And we have the final stage version of Gigant Liner. So again, same design that we saw on the previous card, but with this background featuring scenes from the show. And there we have the transformation into Kamen Gotchard Legend Liner, a form exclusive to the final stage show. And while it is a form you obtain in the GotcharDriver by just using any version of Legend or Legendary Legend, as well as Gigant Liner, for me, as a big fan of Kamen Legend, I want to get the proper cards so we can have the special backing where you can actually see the face of the form itself. And following in the design of Legend cards, it does have the gold arrows going down the back. Then the finisher. For the next combination, we'll be using Mach Wheel and Gigant Liner, as well as, actually no, for this one just Mach Wheel and Gigant Liner. I'll bring in the next thing afterwards. And this gives us Kamen Gotchard Mach Liner, which is technically an unseen form that just exists as a sound in the GotcharDriver. Then for the final combination, we'll bring in the Gotchard Igniter again, this time set to the Valvara driver. And for this one, we'll be using Dione and Gigant Liner. And then we have the transformation into Kamen Rider GT, a form that he obtains in the post-series V Cinema. And while there are going to be actual cards coming out that are accurate to what you see in the movie, in the case of this one, I just wanted to show it off normally because in the case of this, when you use it in the belt, it doesn't really matter too much what versions of the cards you use, because as you can see, with the way this is set up, you can't even really see them within the belt itself, so they'll make the same sounds anyways. And there we go. So overall, I'd actually say that despite how cool this belt is, I think it's definitely more of an item that's better suited towards hardcore collectors of the Gotchard series rather than the casual fan. Because for what it's worth, this, despite the way it looks, has nearly the same sound set as the normal GotcharDriver with the exception of the power on sound as well as the two exclusive forms and their exclusive special attacks. Otherwise, it does function basically identically and will function the same along with all of the different driver units that were released for the series. So if you are a big fan of Gotchard Daybreak, I can certainly recommend it if you can find a good price. But for the casual collector, this is the kind of thing where either you can pass on it, or perhaps you just get it in place of the regular GotcharDriver, but at the same time the normal GotcharDriver is more affordable, so that might just be what to go with. But definitely a cool belt, and I'm also glad that I could show off those final combinations that I didn't really get a chance to show off in the past. Next time I'll be reviewing the Deluxe Eldora Driver. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed my video, please leave a like, let me know your thoughts down in the comments, and if you're new and would like to see more, please subscribe and hit the bell icon. And for now, this is KRX50, riding off.